Hello, good morning, everyone. So my name's Anthony Wicks. Some of you may recognise me. I've been to the event a few times. In fact, I came to my first event a year ago, and I said to my marketing team, I said, hey, this is a really good event. Maybe we should go and sponsor it. And at the time, I'd missed that cycle. Fast forward to January, and we're a platinum sponsor. I'm like, how's that happened? And it turns out one of our acquisitions, Cameo, has been a long-standing sponsor here, so it's great to be here. So, Anthony Wicks, I'm one of the EUC leads at Google. I've been in the team now just over 7 years. Prior to that, I was at Microsoft for about the same amount of time, but my job there was bringing Autopilot, Windows 10, and modern management to market. So I speak both languages. It also means I don't just completely buy the Google Kool-Aid, because I've lived in the real world. I know what's possible and what's not. And I want to spend the first minute or so just actually pointing out something that we're doing at the moment. So if you go to the Gemini app, Google is running a charity campaign whereby you can generate a mustache. I grow a very handsome neck beard, but I cannot grow a very good mustache. There's some excellent mustaches I've seen in the crowd today, so fair play to you. But for anyone else who can't do that, if you go onto Gemini, if you generate and put that prompt in, it will create it, upload it, put that hashtag, and every time you do, Google will donate £11 to the Movember cause. So if you like Google or even hate Google, make them pay £11 to go do that. As you can imagine, I gave this a go yesterday. This travesty is called a chevron mustache, and I will never be growing that. So I asked to go back and say, have you got anything else? This is the mighty walrus, which I think suits me a bit better. I also look a lot healthier in that picture. But again, as with the dangers of AI, if you start putting in quirky words like, can you make something more whimsical, you really go off the rails really quickly. So I'm sure my colleague has taken a picture of that, and that is now in my Teams chat or my group chat, so fun. So Google and end user computing, just out of curiosity, I know there's a couple of my customers in the audience, but for everyone who is an end customer, could you put your hand up just quickly? Just by the way, I'm not going to pick on you, I promise. Not of Google, just in general. So you're not a vendor. If you're not a vendor, put your hand up. That's probably an easier way to put it. Okay, so keep your hand up if you haven't spoken to Google about end-user computing. Right, most of you, so I've got a bit of work to do. So why is Google here when you've already heard there's lots of different vendors? You've heard that, we've had Microsoft, AWS, Dizion, Citrix. There's lots of different vendors in the space. So what's Google doing? Why are we here? So hopefully that's what I'm going to be able to answer for you in the next 10 minutes. And if you've got any questions, I'll be upstairs for most of the day. So most organizations, when they approach Google, they think, why are you here? I've been doing Windows for 40 years. It's kind of been going to the cloud, coming back from the cloud, VDI, local desktop, locally installed apps, virtual apps, blah, 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 blah. What are you doing? The challenge we always put back to customers is, where are you going with your apps? The universally recognized route forward with enough time is that the apps will move to the cloud. They'll be remodernized, there'll be new apps that come out and replace old apps that will be legacy. Our customers come to me and say, hey, can you help me with my green screen app? No, kill it with fire. Don't stop supporting that app, try and move away from it as quickly as possible. But ultimately, not all customers are the same. Some are more further along on your cloud journey. Some are have more legacy requirements. And so for us, it's really about how do we help customers simplify the estate where it makes sense. There'll be people in here today that will hear this and go, none of this is for me, and that's absolutely fine. You've got solutions already there today. But if you wanted to take a look and say, well, I know I'm heading towards software as a service. I know I'm heading towards the web. I may be 5 years away, 10 years away, 20 years away. What should I be aiming for? That's how we've been engaging customers, because we know eventually the majority of users will be web-centric. And so for us, when we do this, we're thinking, well, how can we deliver a stack that is, through a single management plane, easy to consume for the user? Google's very well known for being a consumer company, basically, where we've got billions of users. We've got 10 products now that have 1 billion users. So we know how to engineer things at scale and make it simple so that my nan and my mum doesn't hassle me every week about, oh, how do I do this, how do I do that? And users just get on with it and use it. So how do we bring that to the enterprise? And so very quietly, we've been building the best of Google at every layer. And whereas some vendors will expect you to kind of buy their whole stack, Google's approach has been, can we build different different capabilities that solve different challenges that can integrate with my existing stack today. If you take everything Google, amazing, that's great. And we've got some really massive enterprise customers that do that. They take everything. But the vast majority sits somewhere in the middle. So in the theme of today, Secure Enterprise Browser, you can all take a shot now. Our Secure Enterprise Browser is the Chrome browser. It has 4 billion monthly active users across all OSs and all platforms. About 20-25% of that is in the enterprise. I don't think it's quite a billion enterprise users of the browser, but it's getting close. So for us, that's our enterprise browser solution. I'll talk to that in a second. You then go a layer down, and we talk about Cameo. So really annoyingly, if this slot was about 4 hours later, I could reveal when we're launching Cameo, which is really soon, is all I can say. It's really, really soon. Cameo is an acquisition we made last year, long-standing partner. I'll explain that in a second. We then got Workspace. So Google Workspace is our equivalent of Office 365, web-native productivity suite. Historically, you very much had to pick, it was an either-or situation, but increasingly we see a lot of coexistence for certain user groups, and that's, again, part of our stack. You've then got our operating system. So we're lucky enough to have Android and Chrome OS. Android has been more of a consumer play. You've got Android Enterprise, where mobile and tablets have been adopted by the enterprise. Chrome OS is our desktop and laptop operating system. So again, luxury of having two. And then the last thing is Google Cloud. So all of this is built on top of Google Cloud. All of our enterprise technologies, all built on exactly the same base. Some of you may be Google Cloud customers, but not looking at our end user computing stack. That's fine. The good news is it's all built and managed on the same control plane. So all of your technological investments and integrations you've done on Google Cloud carry across to all of our other products. So again, that's good architecture. So the three I'm accountable for are these three. So the browser, Cameo, and Chrome OS. And going to the browser, for us, having such a large enterprise presence already, there was at one point a stat we used to say, don't know why it's fallen out of cycle, maybe it wasn't true, but we said we were one of the most, if not the most successful enterprise technology on the desktop, when you consider the fact that we've nearly got 1 billion installs across the enterprise. So for us, the last 10 or so years, we've been really focused on how do we make browsing simple in the enterprise. So first thing we did was introduce something called Chrome Enterprise Core. Who here is using that? So it's effectively the cloud management of Chrome browser. Anyone doing that? Just one person at front. Well done. You're ahead of everyone else. So for about 6 years ago, Google launched, much in secret for some bizarre reason, the ability to manage Chrome browser across every operating system from the cloud. You can absolutely move away from GPOs. You can still integrate it with the Microsoft stack of management tooling, but Google gave you that engine for free to manage extensions, get security insights, push configuration, get user reporting. If you take nothing else from this today, if you haven't done that, you're absolutely missing a trick. So go and look at it. It's called Chrome Enterprise Core. We then extended that to introduce secure browsing capability. Again, I'll talk to that in a little bit. Cameo, long-standing partner of Google. We've been working with them for a very, very long time. They were always our partner. Alongside, obviously, we work with lots of different virtualization partners. We recently just certified AWS Workspaces on Chrome OS, which is awesome to have that on board. I've got customers accessing Citrix from our technology, Dizion, AVD, so on and so forth. So we all about playing nicely of others. And that's one of the reasons why we acquired Cameo. So Cameo is a virtual app delivery solution. So it's really around, one of my customers described it the other day as providing a Netflix for your applications. Your users very easily and simply click on the icon that they need. That then streams to them, it integrates with their desktop, and they almost don't know it's being streamed from the cloud. So we acquired Cameo for a number of reasons, but the fact that they worked with any identity provider, any cloud storage provider, and it allowed you to stream those apps either from a local data center, so on-premise, if you've got a really secure app, then you can do that, or you can bring your own hyperscaler and stream it from the cloud. So again, Cameo was very open and flexible, and that's really what Google's about. We're trying to work with different vendors in this space. And then lastly, the bit where I've spent most of my time in the last 7 years is working on enterprise adoption of Chromebooks, which, I won't lie, is hard work. It's really hard work walking into an enterprise saying, right, that Windows PC you've had for 40 years, what can we do about that? That is a challenge. But again, over the summer we saw lots of customers ahead of the Windows 10 end of life use our technology to, without sending an engineer, convert devices in place, run Chrome OS Flex, which again I'll talk to in a minute, to convert that and keep that asset in place without ever sending an engineer to it for for up to 10 more years. So they effectively were able to avoid that Windows migration, that Windows, maybe because they can't go because of hardware limitations, or just because it's a SaaS native worker or use case, and it made sense to do so. So again, we've got different solutions for different things. And going back to it, all of our technology is designed around the same three principles. It's got to be simple for the IT admin, otherwise you're just adding in more complexity. So again, everything is cloud native. All of the automations are built into the admin console. So when we deliver technology, we are not expecting you to have additional third-party plugins. So that's a big cost saving for some organizations, but for us, it's really about simplicity. And it extends into security. So for us, Google's mantra is layered defense in depth. So that is not to say this is infallible, it will never break. It's to add in so many layers of technology and security policy behind the scenes that the users never see it and the IT admins never really have to worry about it. But the SOC can fully report and get that information out and put it into a Splunk or whatever it is you use to visualize your security data. So again, we build everything to the same principles. And lastly, made for modern work really just means cloud-centric. We provide cloud-centric endpoints and cloud-centric ways of working to access all of those apps, whether they're delivered from your on-premise data center via virtualization product or whether it's cloud native. That's really what we're looking to do and what we're trying to help customers do on their path. Now, is this going to work? Now, this is a demo of Cameo. I was told to include this one today. Apparently, if you show that you can stream something like a CAD application, then you're cool. So not only have we done that, we've also, for some reason, picked a Stanley knife for additional threatening and menace. That you'll see that kind of do that. But I think the point is, and what you'll see in just this, it's really short, I promise. The demo is not only are we able to kind of surface these very complex applications, again, from on-premise or from a hyperscaler of your choice. It doesn't have to just be Google. Great if it is, but if it isn't, it can be whatever you want. We're then able to export that, drop that locally on the device, and then it kind of follows all the device policies on there. But Cameo, going back to why we acquired them, they've already done all of that plumbing. So this is a Chrome OS device. If you've used Chrome OS, you'll recognize this at the bottom. It's downloaded it. There's other files here. One of the other things that we've done with them prior to the acquisition is we were able to handle all of the extension management. So in this instance, I'm able to pick what I want to open this .txt file with, but obviously Notepad doesn't run on Chrome OS. So a user has just literally double-clicked an attachment they've got, it's then recognized it, and it's instantly gone back into the Cameo service. It's streaming the application, the identity follows, and everything kind of works as expected. So again, for us, it's really not around providing individual component solutions. It's like, how does it all harmonize together? Is that a good user experience? And is it easy to manage and secure? So I'm pleased that video worked. It didn't work earlier. Right. I think I'm nearly at time. So just really quickly, I'll let you read the slide. The key thing here is we're not looking to necessarily drive wholesale change on day one. 95% of my customers are not Google customers. They are curious about what Google can do, but most of them aren't. So really it's about thinking, what problems do I have today? Do I have a problem trying to solve BYOD? Do I have a problem trying to deliver an application that needs to be streamed? I have multiple applications that need to be streamed from different data centers, and I need to simplify that for the user. Is it I've got endpoints that can't go to Windows 11, but actually the users are SaaS-centric? Super. There's something that we can kind of help you with. And so for us, it's been a case of we've had to, over a very long period of time, over 10 years now, build up these capabilities so that you can kind of pick and choose what makes most sense to your organization and then adopt it piece by piece. And the other good thing as well, in terms of how we design it, the effort is up front. And it's not necessarily a massive effort, but take it as an example. My largest customers, one of my largest customers in EMEA is one of the UK's big four. They've got somewhere between 30 and 40,000 Chromebooks. They started with 50. They then moved to 500, and then over the course of a handful of years went to that number. Everything we do is designed to help you scale up. We're not trying to force you to do everything up front, because again, unrealistic, but it's all around that kind of gradual step, but as long as we're solving problems with you. So I'm going to be upstairs, come to me with problems and say, hey, I need to solve BYOD for contractors, or hey, I need to deliver my app slightly different, or this is too expensive, what can you do? Bring those challenges to us, and we'd be delighted to kind of talk them through with you. And in terms of barriers to entry, we've made it really easy. So the first thing I've already said to you is Chrome Enterprise Core. That is around managing your browser. It's just a no-brainer. I'd be fascinated to know the reasons beyond not knowing about it, because we're really good at engineering products, really bad at getting the word out, but hence it keeps me in a job, so I'm okay with that. But Chrome Enterprise Core is where I'd absolutely start. Google Workspace, you'll know if you've got appetite to explore that or not. It's our cloud-based productivity solution. There's a huge team that can help you with it. Cameo, by the end of the day, maybe at Drinks, I can tell you when it's going to launch. Might be next week, but you'll know later. But that's going to be coming. There'll be a demo process and a trial process around that. Likewise, Chrome OS. The easiest way you can test Chrome OS is download Chrome OS Flex, and you can install it for free on existing hardware. You can test it straight away, test what that SaaS native experience is. You can then enroll it in the admin console, push some policy, and see what all those enterprise integrations are. We support Entra, Ping, Okta, blah, 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 blah. We've kind of covered all of that now. And then lastly, Google Cloud. If you're interested in Google Cloud, there's immense teams out there now, huge. I think when I joined, there was 30 people seven years ago in the enterprise team. There's now about 300-400. So if you haven't got a Google account team and you're looking to speak to someone, again, feel free to come to me. And with that, I think that's my time.